Good morning everyone, welcome to Agina Craft. In this video I will show you how to make river coasters from a piece of spruce using an angle grinder, a blowtorch and some creativity. Okay, so first off what we're gonna do, this is just a spruce board you can get from any hardware store, and it's about 10 mil thick or 15 mil thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my angle grinder and I'm gonna carve a kind of a river into it, so like a river bed. So I will let the angle grinder do its natural flow. I'll try to follow the grain pattern as well. There is no strict which way to go about it. It's just feel it. The most important thing is don't go through the board. Okay, so go as deep as you want, right? But don't make a hole through the board when you are grinding it out. I am using a sanding disc, a 40 grit sanding disc, and yeah, that's basically it. So let's just kick it off and see how far we go. I'm gonna close the door, I don't want the dust to get inside. Give me a sec. All right. One more thing, when I'm grinding it, at the edge of the board I'm gonna leave out about half a centimeter without touching it, because that's gonna be a natural dam for the resin to stop at, so I don't have to like put too much tape around it to block the resin to flow out. Okay, so let's continue. It just popped in my mind. You should always wear eye protection, hand protection, and you should never remove the guard from this thing. I do it because I'm an idiot, but don't do as I do, do as I say, okay? Now, grinding is done. Next up, just gonna get a generic camping gas can with the cheapo head on it. Turn it on. And let the galaxy burn. Okay, so let me just not be the shadow. So what I've done is I torched the whole thing out, like so. You see anything? I just cleaned the camera lens. Anyway, So I torch it all through. Now here, can you focus? Can you please focus? Are you focusing? Are you doing the focus? There you go. So here we have a knot. The problem with this knot is that this knot has a hole in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. So what I need to do here is tape it up from the bottom and glue it and make sure that no resin will seep through. So yeah, that's something to look out for when you do this, is the nuts of the spruce board might have holes in it and it might just seep through the whole thing and you lose all the resin and it goes through. But yeah, so this is it for now. Now I'm gonna build, as I said, I'm just gonna build some tape around it. Maybe I chop it up into, I don't know, we'll see, and put some resin in it, and we go from there. So back in the workshop, so there are several ways you can hit this and fill it in. You can use PVA glue, which is like the typical wood glue. You can even mix some sawdust in it to create some texture or add some body to the filler. You can use super glue, same thing, you can add some sawdust to add some body to the filler, or you can use the typical cheapo silicone. You can even just use a piece of tape over it if you trust your tape that it will not seep through. I do not trust my tapes because in Greece you can't buy tie-back tape, you can only use generic sellotape, and I'd rather not use that. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use what should I use? I'm gonna use a little bit of super glue on this one. Also, because I burned the wood, I don't know if you can see it, but the whole thing curled up. So basically, it's like this shape right now. So if I'm gonna leave it like this, all the resin gonna collect in the middle and won't flow through the edges. So I might have to clamp it to this tabletop to straighten it out. So that's another challenge you have to face. When you torch something, stop, this is gonna shrink, the other side will expand, and you're gonna have a board with a smiley face. Now if it's a small board, it's not that it's not that big of a curl, you know, it's not gonna be that visible, but the bigger the board, the bigger the curl. Okay, so let me just stop this video right now, fill up this hole with something, and start clamping things down. Alright, boys and girls, so I should stop saying so. Anyway, I built a dam of sellotape around our board, like so, and I went a little bit under it too, just in case if it overflows. I hope not, but yeah. So the next thing I need is some pigment paste, resin, hardener, mixer, something to put it in, something to measure it with. All right, so I'm gonna put you guys back here. This is my first time doing this, so please bear with me. Focus and things and be in the picture and stuff. Right, so I don't know how much I need, and that's my biggest problem. I'm going to make about half a kilo, like 500 grams as a starter, and we go from there. So basically is 10 to 5, so I give 300 grams of A, and that's not grams, yay. Don't even know what measurement is that. Ounces, grams, there you go. 300, yoink. You can do this by volume or by weight. There are many instructional YouTube videos on this, doing it much better than I can, explaining everything. So yeah, go watch that. And I'm gonna use 150 grams of hardener for 300 grams. I usually use a little bit less, so because I like to have the working time extended a little. Well, might as well. All right, that's that. And now we're gonna put the coloring in it. Funny thing, this is actually water-based mica paint. So this is not resin pigment. This is literally paint, and you can buy this big ass jar for about, I don't know, 3-4 euros on Amazon, and basically has the same mica powder in it. And if I mix it in resin, I don't mix too much, but if I mix it in resin, it hardens out just the same as whatever, something like this. You buy this for about 15 bucks a while. Guys, you get the idea. We are being ripped off by the big production factories. So always look for alternatives to make it cheaper, and experiment. That's what I always say, because I hated that this hobby became such an elitist hobby that like you need like $1,000 to start the business or start the hobby to start making resin stuff, because everything is just so fucking overpriced. The resin, the pigment, and all other tools and stuff. I don't have that kind of money. Anyway, I'll put in some, like this much. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Yep. Ew, first of all. Where's my garbage bin? Alright. Next up, the good old drill. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Hand protection, eye protection, all other shit. Alright, looking good. What else should I put in there? I don't know, man. What if I put some gold in it? Or better yet. So I bought this big ass bag of mica powder. It's a white mica pigment, and I bought it because I thought it's gonna make. Fuck off. So I thought it's gonna make the ocean waves look better, but it did not. So I have about 100 grams of mica powder. Wink. Might as well use it, huh? Alright. Also, that mica powder is actually for soaps and shit. So they sold that for about $5. You know, it doesn't mention resin or epoxy or whatever art. It's just for soaps. So, yeah. Buy it in bulk. Okay. Time for a pour. I know you can't see shit from over there, but I only have 2 hands, okay? I'll show you when it's done. I think we're gonna have enough resin. Unless I make a terrible mistake. That's a bit too much here. Okay, so everything is flowing that way. What I need to do is prop this up a little. Like so. So everything flows here. By the way, I use this level, okay, to level it out. But this is such a tiny fraction of a difference on height. Alright, I think we are getting some there. Some there is where we are getting. Let me give you a little bit more. The resin must flow like spice. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much all the resin I'm gonna use on this one, for sure. So with the leftover resin, I'm just gonna put it in the bottle. Yoink. Okay. All right. I'm gonna show you. Come here. So as you can see, we started up here, and it's touching the side here. So make sure the sellotape gate works. Going over here. Thank God I built them, and it doesn't flow through it. So far, so good. Yay! All right, I'm gonna get rid of the bubblesies, and we come back to this later. See you in a bit. Good morning, everyone. This is the next day. So I sliced this up to 50 centimeter strips because it's much easier to handle and is much faster to get through the planer. So the next steps are the following. I'm going to send it through the planer to get rid of the excess resin I poured, and I will get it through the planer on the other side to thin it down. Once that's done, I'm gonna sand it, polish it, and oil it, or add some finish to it, and then chop it up, and we have coasters, right? So join me for this adventure. Well, this isn't working. Basically, it ripped through all the resin. So what we learned is, don't use this to remove the resin, because this will basically destroy your piece. Like so. Anyway, so that's a lesson we just learned. Right, boys and girls, so I spent the day sanding, and I started with 40 grit, and I ran through the bad sander, and I sanded it up to 800 grit, and this is it. And of course I planed the other side, and I realized I'm running the planer on too thick, which means that I'm trying to take too much off at the same time. So little by little is the way to do it. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is chop up those squares and then oil it. We're gonna oil it together to see what the result is. All right, now see you in a bit. Hey there. I thought I'm gonna sit out on the terrace to finish this off because the shed is so stuffy, and I still have the last good days of the Greek spring before the heat wave comes. We have a nice breeze. So something come in my mind. I thought, how about the drinking game? Whenever I say so, you take a shot. But then I realized I'm gonna kill all 20 people who watch the video. So yeah, don't do that. Anyhow, this is what I'm gonna do. I will lightly sand the corners to remove. Where are you? To remove all the hairs, just like that. Nothing serious, just tidy it up a bit. And I'm gonna repeat this whatever many times. So now I'm just gonna shut the hell up, speed this up, and you can enjoy me doing the same repetitive thing. You don't see this often. I'm putting gloves on. Because I had a little bit of an accident with some food dye, and all my fingers are covered in red paint. So, yeah, time to cover up. Yep, there you go. All right. Trusty pure tung oil. I should clean this jar. Been using this container for a while now. I'm always refilling it, but it's so convenient. It's such a small little thingy. So, oil on this. Ta-da. There you go. Focusing? I hope so. So anyway, this is what I do. Also, my camera is shaking because the wind has picked up, so I will try to fix it in DaVinci Resolve. But yeah. And we are done. As you can see, guys, it's this easy to make 4 sets of coasters in about an afternoon using nothing but a cheap ass spruce board, some dye which you can buy in a hobby store, half a kilo resin, and some elbow grease. Now I sell these for about $25 to $30 a pop. I mean the set. So I can say like we easily made 120 bucks just an hour in the afternoon and another hour at the other afternoon. So basically 2 working hours, and we made 120 bucks. It's a good business, You can make good money with this. You just need to find your audience. That's it for me, guys. I hope you got something out of this video, and I see you in the next one. Bye.